need to be replaced out at the ball field. Power company is going to take care of it for me. I just need to find out where they need to put light bulbs at.
All right, we have our minutes in front of us from the last meeting, and we were all sent those. Does anybody see anything that needs to be corrected, or if not, I'll entertain a motion to accept.
I'll make a motion to accept the minutes from the last meeting.
Yes, sir.
Okay, all those in favor? All right. Yes. Splash pad update.
We got our final inspection on this past Friday, and Mr. Brogdon, the grant coordinator for the state, came out and they made sure the bathrooms were as big as they were supposed to be, and that the grade getting into the splash pad has to be a certain pitch for handicap accessibility, and all that stuff was good. He asked us to turn it on, check the tank, and everything was good. We decided then that we needed to run it for a couple of days just to see how this thing really worked, because we hadn't really had the opportunity to do that as of yet. And we figured it was a perfect opportunity to let the public know. So if we're going to run the water out there, they might as well play in it. And Friday at about 2 o'clock, we posted that the splash pad was open, and it's been wide open ever since. Okay, I mean, I've had at least 200 people or better every day since I opened it.
It's loaded over now.
Huh?
It's loaded over now.
Oh, I'm sure it is. I'm sure it is. There was some runoff, and it's taken us a while to figure out how to calibrate and adjust the flow of water versus the amount of usage that, I mean, there was some speculation in the beginning we might not have anybody use it, we hope we have anybody use it, and that's, I don't think that's going to ever be a problem. I think every season from open till closed, it's going to be busy all the time.
Yeah.
There's people requesting, more benches and shade structures and stuff like that. And I told them, it took us 5 years to get here. Give me some time. We're going to continue to do some stuff. But right now, the problem that I had was a runoff of water that was not allowing me to catch it, to recycle it. And the few days we had it open, I had so many people out there, not to disappoint anybody, had to have the fire department come and give me a little assistance on Saturday, Sunday, and Monday, because I couldn't keep up with the water usage. We put a temporary curb around the part that's running off really bad, and it has resolved my problem. So we're going to move forward with a permanent curb around the whole splash pad area. I'll paint it bright orange to match the components that are out there, and against that blue pad, it'll look really striking. But they're supposed to be here Monday and Tuesday to do that. So we'll shut it down for a few days with a Facebook post that says, closed temporarily for some modifications and adjustments. Be sure to stay tuned for grand opening details, and hopefully soon after I get back, we can start posting for a grand opening. Miss Donna Moranci has donated me $400 for hot dogs and buns. I had the fire department grill them up for me and put them in aluminum foil and put them in the little styrofoam coolers I got, and we'll give those away on our grand opening.
So when are we looking? Do we know yet?
I know, don't have a good date yet. I'm hoping, probably sometime after the Juneteenth thing, right after it. That's Juneteenth on a Saturday, so maybe that Monday after we'll have a grand opening, something like that. Sound too close, too soon? Well, I ain't trying to make it too terrible, but I want to get the grand opening out of the way as soon as possible.
Do you want to do it on Monday, or do you want to do
I want to do it a day of the week, that way.
in the afternoon when parents are off work, bring their kids, or would you?
Like, I ain't having a whole lot of people worried about going to work right now. They're all at splash pad, so I'm not worried about having people show up there for whatever time of day I do it.
I think if whatever time of day you do it, people will be there.
Yeah, it's not going to be a problem. So, and that way we get it out of the way. I mean, the dog park grand opening, if I recall, was in the afternoon on a weekday too.
We could do it on the Tuesday afternoon, like 5 o'clock.
Yeah.
Pretty good turnout.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was. It was like, it was
Yeah, and something like that would work though, right after work. So like Tuesday or a Monday or a Tuesday at 5 o'clock will be perfect. So, yeah. Yeah, but it's working. It's working, guys.
Okay.
It's working.
all right. My Hero and Me dance update.
We didn't expect a whole lot, but we had a whole less than a whole lot. Okay. It was just Victoria and I there, and that was plenty. We did have people show up. We had a Wonder Woman and a Hulk and a couple other superheroes show up. And I mean, there were some, but I realized it was a new one, and I think May might be the worst time in the world to do anything. That was the the disc golf grand opening was in May, and it was a less than stellar turnout. I think May is probably the worst.
Very busy.
Very busy, May graduation.
So we won't do that again. I've kind of learned my lesson. I'll reschedule that event to take place. I don't want to get rid of it. I just want to do it where it's a more opportune time. So maybe after school starts back, we'll have a My Hero and Me dance.
I think that would be a good time.
Yeah, so September. Yeah, maybe in September. Starts getting a little cooler. Yeah.
Okay.
Days are not so long.
I even think you could maybe do it in October, closer to like Halloween, but like where kids might have costumes.
That's true too. That's a good idea.
Yeah.
That way they'll have more costumes. Yeah, so like maybe the week before Halloween.
Or maybe a week or two before Halloween, yeah. Like right after fall break, whatever
Yeah.
that week is, maybe that next weekend or when people are starting to have.
And that way they'll be that same superhero for Halloween. They won't have to buy but
Yeah.
one costume. That's a good idea, Miss Hughes.
Whenever works best, right after that in
Yeah.
October.
Yeah, I know there'll be trial and error. It's kind of like, adjusting the splash pad. Sometimes you got to try different dates, but I do want to continue to do it because there was a lot of folks who didn't realize that we even had, that showed up for this one that didn't even know we had any of this stuff, so like I got some new people, so
Good.
we'll keep doing it.
Okay. Juneteenth.
Look, guys, at this point in time, I mean, I don't know if Miss Granberry really had any success putting a board together or not. That's why for this event, we're going to start posting for this tomorrow. And we're going to call it a Wet and Wild. Come join Parks and Recreation for a Wet and Wild Juneteenth celebration. Okay? Since it's basically Wet and Wild Day relocated for the most part. I do have the volleyball post out there. I got the net. We're going to get that hooked up. I'll have cornhole, spike ball, the water slide, the slip and slides. I've got several little kid pools, and I got the bigger pool that you gave me. I'm going to inflate it and fill it full of water. So we'll have.
Now you're going to use it.
Now I'm going to use it now. I got a place for it now. So I got plenty of stuff. I got 1,000 water balloons, and like I said, Miss Diane James is going to sell water out there with the senior program for a fundraiser to help them get hot meals.
Can you say the name again?
Diane,
What you going to call it?
I'm just going to say come join Parks and Rec for a Wet and Wild Juneteenth celebration. Because that way I'm not advertising for Wet and Wild Day or Juneteenth specifically, and that gets it all in one nutshell. That's going to be our event. It's for Juneteenth. But, and we'll put on there that there'll be food trucks, there'll be kid-friendly games, and the water slide. But I really don't have anything else this year. I mean, that's
Well, it
it.
just happened so fast. And
Yeah.
We just thought first year you always learn
Yeah.
and get better the next year. So we learned it this year, so we get better next year.
And, we might not want to have Wet and Wild Day associated with Juneteenth next year. You know what I mean? Because but this year, that's really the best that I could do with as it kept getting closer to June, that's why I kept saying, this is what I know I can do. I can either set it up at the community center and have Wet and Wild Day there, or I can bring it to Juneteenth and do it at Gardenia Park and make it our Juneteenth celebration this year. But I really want to do more. I mean, like Tay and his desire to have a family fun day at the park, and was talking about permits and stuff and to paperwork. I said, I can't really change anything about permits and paperwork, Tay. But what I can tell you is that on June 18th, I'm throwing a shindig at Gardenia Park. And I'd like to make sure that he said, I'll make sure parking is a problem for you. And I'll take that. I mean, if parking is a problem for me, then it helps me better prepare for next year when I hope parking is a problem for me again. We're cleaning up those fence rows for that specific reason, so that when they come in, people can park with their against that side of the fence. And that way, all the festivities are here, and they're not parking in where it's going to get wet and rutted up. And I plan on setting up the shade pavilions I have. Bringing out some of the chairs I had. They're pretty ragged anyway. You know what I mean? So it's not going to hurt them to bring them to the park. I'll set out some chairs and some sage structures. I'll have Gillespie put his truck in the parking lot so that he can get to the power pole where he needs to be plugged up, and with his back of his food truck to the bathrooms. So there'll be space between the back of the food truck and the bathrooms, and he'll serve out into the area where we're having all our festivities. It ought to be fun still.
Okay. All right. Donated property on Air Mines.
I kind of feel like we talked about this last time.
We did.
We are of course, passing a budget right now. I don't know exactly what's going to be in there, but there's a lot of plans for some capital improvement projects for Parks and Rec, and this will start with just cleaning it up. We'll get somebody with the Bobcat, and a certain percentage of my capital improvement project budget will go to let them just thin it out and clean it up, give me an opportunity to look at it for next year. This year, if I could just get it cleaned out, and we can start considering some picnic tables along the creek, some pavilion or something out there. I mean, if I could get a bridge over the creek to Arrow Mines Park, then my pavilion is taken care of. I mean, it just connects the whole thing. But that bridge is going to be an engineered project. It's probably going to be.
Walk away?
I can't have. That's why it has to be an arch bridge that won't wash away. Something that's not makeshift.
That'd be pretty too.
Huh?
That'll be pretty.
It will be pretty.
You put some lights on it. Woo.
And that's what I'm saying. So as we move forward, I want to make sure I do this the right way. I don't want to turn it into the parks we already have. I want to make it a more natural park with nature trails already there. It just needs to be cleaned out.
Eventually that would be a really good place for like weddings or like receptions.
It's going to be beautiful down there when we get finished with it, guys.
And we don't really have.
Thankful that he donated.
I am too, and I kind of felt like, that was probably his best option, because I think when they consider the TVA lines, the railroad track, and the creek, and the fact that it floods back there, ain't a whole lot really you're going to do with it, but I will
Not
make
what
it
I was
pretty.
saying our last meeting.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. So, yeah, it's gonna be good, and we'll get some stuff going down there, and we'll, throw some events out there and welcome people to it, and but
It really be lovely down
but this year it's like my focus at Gardenia Park as far as making it pretty. I think, Mr. Witherspoon was ready to butt heads with me in the beginning, but he sees that what I'm doing out there is actually an improvement. I'm not just throwing some stuff together. It's really pretty out there, guys. The way the rolling hill and the bushes are really starting to come out, and the trees are growing. It's really, really pretty.
It's good about it.
He used to be the main guy, because he always find a park back in the day.
Well, the capital.
Come down the road.
We talked to Mr. Brogdon when he was giving us our final inspection. Victoria can attest to this. The state of Tennessee has money that they need to get rid of that's Parks and Rec related, and so we're going to try to find for a grant for playground equipment for all the parks, okay? Because we can do one grant that encompasses playground equipment for all the parks, and of course there'll be a matching grant of some kind with the state. I'm looking at a RTP grant for
80/20.
huh?
It's 80/20.
It's an 80/20 grant, okay? And it's for my plans for Rotary Park to put ADA accessible trail that will connect the pavilion to the baseball park to because if you're handicapped, you can't watch your kid play baseball, okay? You can't get to the pavilion. You can't get to the playground equipment. You can't get to anything out there. So parking is something at all of my parks that I'm looking to work on, but the trail with the RTP grant will give handicap accessibility around the entire Rotary Park. You'll be able to get to the parking lot from an ADA accessible spot into your wheelchair and roll your wheelchair to the pavilion, to the playground, to the baseball field and back. So that's the plan. That's what you asked for, was more walking trails. So this will be an opportunity for us to get it, and we'll have an 80/20 grant. It's a good one. And we have Ted now who can do the 20 that we have to put in. He can do all that work too. So, I mean, it looks like all these things are going to be very relevant and very possible coming up in our near future. So,
And if we need to we did this before, Larry, we have to have a day where we go like out to the donated property we spend many days cleaning up, picking up trash. I mean,
well, I don't know what y'all's plans are for
We did
June
it.
18th, but I'm going to need some help with the water slide and, making sure people park at it. I won't be able to control it all. It's going to require me to have some help. And I got these couple of part-time guys. I'll have both of them out there. Hopefully Brent will be available that day as well. And we'll make sure people, get parked decently. And, after everybody gets parked and they get situated, the water slide is the biggest thing. I mean, you really got to have somebody watching it always. You can't just say, okay, you guys have a good time.
right.
That's not a
I'm
good
sure
idea.
April can get the cheerleaders.
Yes, Gracie Boyd was so good last
She's
year.
not going to be. Well,
Yeah, I know.
we
She
have
sent me
a-
a message.
We have a birthday party that day for our cousin's daughter who has cancer. They're having like a little birthday party for her. It's not her birthday, but they're going to go ahead and have a birthday party.
Yeah.
So I don't know that we would be able to be there. But I think I could probably ask her to get some cheerleaders, and maybe Alicia, because she has basketball cheerleaders too. So Alicia may be able to kind of watch them both. Though.
Gracie climbed up to the top of the water slide and sat up there, and that way when kids were scared.
Lexi Felty and Lexi Felty did last time,
Yeah.
one time as well.
Yeah, so I mean that's great help. That's kind of help because they don't mind getting on the water slide.
I'll talk to April and Alicia.
That would be fantastic.
Okay.
And of course, y'all plan on. I know if you can't be there, you can't. But if you, I'm sure I'll see you out there,
Oh, yeah.
and I'm sure I'll see you out there. But y'all help me. I'm gonna post some stuff on Facebook. Just make sure you share it and get it out with me. Okay, we'll have that out tomorrow,
What's the exact time?
June 18th. I'm gonna run it from 10 to 6.
10 to 6.
10 to 6.
Maybe we'll come early. I just got to get to that birthday party.
10 to 6 is a long time. Wet Wild Day, if I'm not mistaken, historically it was only a few hours, right?
Last year was forever. It's like 7 hours, like 1 to 7.
Well, so last year was long. That was my
Yeah.
first year to do it.
like, oh, yeah. But yeah.
But I feel like I want to get the most money out of the slide I can.
That's right. That's right. 10 to, you said 10 to 6.
Yeah. So 10 to 6. That's a long day, I know. So 8 hours.
Family Fun Day.
We're gonna. I'm gonna. After I get back from vacation, I'm gonna sit down with the calendar and find the a day of the week, kind of like I was doing at Family Fun Day, and then a weekend day, and kind of try to do 2 a month for the summertime. I mean, try to see if I can get somebody to donate me some money for some watermelons and have a watermelon eating contest or something. I mean, just stuff, and roll them around to different parks. Do one at Rotary Park, one at Aero Mines. Even, I'm not opposed to doing a little get together at Clark Mini Park and showing a movie in the park or something,
I think that'd be good.
for that.
Those kids,
Yeah,
Kids
I mean-
would love that.
they would love that.
So-
I think
And we bring some popcorn.
Yeah, I'll bring my popcorn machine and we will
they would love that.
bring the generator because I got electricity out there. Get the blow up screen, show a movie,
That'd
and
probably be your biggest turnout.
it might be.
Bring some popsicles.
Yes, freeze pops.
Freeze
Yeah,
pops. Mm-hmm.
yeah. So I want to do it at all the parks, and I'm not looking to do anything extravagant. Just some kind of a little event. Trying to do more things at the community center that are community related. I want to do more things in our parks that are community related. Not anything that you have to pay for, or anything that costs the city a ton of money. Just opportunities. Huh?
And even, I think the Family Fun Days, I don't know what you were thinking, but I think even into like once school, when it's still warm, August is, September's.
The-
I mean, I know we just don't want to, have to pack everything into June and July, but
No, I'm going to keep running as long as it's warm enough outside for me to do stuff outside. Missing then because the Family Fun Night inside the community center is good for wintertime. It's kind of like Kate, with the the team programming. I just want people to be involved. If I'm going to do it, I want them to be involved. So Family Fun Night was great during baseball signups. You know what I mean? That was the best time to hold them. Anytime that, Wednesday nights they were holding some baseball signups. Some nights we had, the first night we had like 100 people there. You know what I mean? It's like, this is going to be a great idea. But then baseball season started getting a little bit warmer, and guess what? Nobody showed up. So wintertime, community center, if it's warm enough to be outside, I want to do something in the park. A weekend day and a weekday as well. A couple times a month. I got this extra help that doesn't mind coming to work on the weekends too, so I'll use them when I got them.
We need a snow cone machine.
Thomas took his snow cone machine with him. He had one. He left me the syrup. Told me I could have the syrup. I said, "What the syrup?"
Let me see if I can find us one.
I saw one on Facebook the other day. It was in Brentwood, a big one, about like this. It
We
was
need
free.
a snow cone machine.
It was just free. It just said it takes a block of ice. Nothing wrong with it. So I ain't gonna use it like that.
You should have got that. We'd have used it. We'd
I didn't
have
know, but it was
most of
free then in Brentwood. It was still about this tall.
Yeah, they're pretty good size. Yeah.
It said it takes a block of ice.
Now, getting ice and stuff like that and syrups for it is, some expense involved, but not a lot, and that's something quick and easy.
Yeah, but I'm gonna tell you, you could shave that ice up, pour some Kool-Aid on it, and the kids would love it.
Yeah, it
Well,
don't
like-
have to be that
They
serious.
don't have
Like
to be that.
Missy said that when the police box smell, they just fine with that too.
They don't,
They are.
they don't, they just drink the syrup. They don't care.
I mean, if you poured Kool-Aid over that shaved ice, I mean, it's hot outside.
Some of them would just eat the ice.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, I would like to have one if we
All right,
can
let
get
me see.
one.
We'll see what we can do. We'll see if we can't locate something we can do.
I really do like the movie at Clark Park.
Yeah.
Me too.
I will be there for that.
Will you?
As
Okay.
long as I'm not on vacation.
Well, it's
Stay on vacation.
I like vacation.
yeah. That's definitely like I said. I don't want to
That's a
just
good idea.
put everything at Rotary or everything at the community center. I want to get around, I want to move around and bring the parks and rec to the community. Because I've heard for so long that everybody has an opportunity to get to the community center.
Some of
you know?
those kids can't go anywhere unless
So-
they're right there. You know, some of those littler kids.
So we'll have a blast. We'll do something there, and I have movies to give away.
I mean, honestly, that might be something. That might be a place you could do it twice, just because like there's so many kids there, and number two, there's so many of those kids that
Don't get to
So
do
many
nothing else.
needs.
yeah, I mean, just attention
Would help a lot.
would help them.
Well, good. Well, that's so. I'm glad y'all are on board with
I
that.
like
Then.
you out. That's gonna be my favorite.
Yeah, that would be.
So, I mean, I
And
haven't.
I'd bring some hot dogs. We could grill
Yes.
hot dogs.
Listen, guys,
anything over
I
there.
started off with the best intent. We're going to do so much stuff, and then I realized that I am not superhuman.
Oh wow, you figured that out.
Well, you know, like even up at Gardenia, there's not as many kids on the actual roads right there, but in the surrounding area, there is a
In the park we
ton
did.
of kids that
That's why if I could do it, I have a generator, guys, and it's a quiet run generator, so I really don't have to have electricity for everything I do. You know, they don't mind me using the generator. It's probably end up getting left at the splash pad pump house 'cause that's where everything else is ending up right now. I borrow everything and I just keep it. But yeah, I use the generator and we'll take the little blow up screen and our DVD player and we'll show movies all over town.
And I think, you know, like at Arrow Mines, there's, you know, again, not maybe right there, but in that general area where kids might walk, and in those general areas, like at Glass Street over that way, there's a bunch of kids that I think.
And movies can be done on a weeknight just as easy as they can be done, you know.
Oh, yes.
You know, so
In the summer, they don't do anything.
that's right. So
They have nothing
And we
to
could
do.
pop that popcorn.
That's right.
And box it up and take it over. We wouldn't have to carry the popcorn
That's
rolling
true.
out there. We
Yeah.
could pop it
Same
ahead
thing
of
with
time.
same thing with hot
But
dogs.
hot dog, but grilling them, taking a little grill out there and grilling them, and I mean,
the fire department has that big long flat grill,
Bring it.
you know.
They put it on.
it wouldn't take a big grill to do hot dogs. you
Well, they
know.
can lay all those hot dogs on there at one time and be, you know, it was, yeah, it's pretty nice. They cook about 50 hot dogs at a time. So everybody, you don't build up a line. But yeah, so those are my plans. We're going to do some stuff outside, you know.
Sounds good.
I'm excited.
Yeah,
Me
good,
too.
good. Y'all come check out the splash pad if you haven't been already.
I'll check
I
out
was over there the other day. Yeah.
It's
I'm out.
All right. Anything else?
not for me.
All right. We'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
I'll make a motion to adjourn this meeting. Need a second?
Second.
Oh.
All right.